going on, my fellow MSF addicts? It's your boy Ken, and today I'm bringing you guys a segment that we do in our Wednesday Twitch stream. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, by the way, so make sure you guys drop a follow if you guys haven't caught any of the live streams. But in this video, we're gonna be talking about ISO 8s that the community and you guys have been telling me you're doing on your Wave 1 Avengers, plus my own recommendations after we get to see them as well. So hopefully you guys find this video helpful, and if you did, you guys know the drill. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are doing when it comes to the ISO 8s for Wave 1 Avengers. But without further ado, let's get into it. Let me know what you guys have been doing, and if you're not joining the call, it's okay. Let me know in the chat as well, and I'll try to make the best of it, trying to read what you guys are doing yourselves on ISOs, and if you guys give me the reasons why, even better. But today we have Agent Scrappy, Dapper, and Bendox in this call. How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing great.
Doing great. All
Hope the chat is doing great as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they
Doing
are.
well, brother.
Doing well.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Hey, thank you guys so much for joining the call. Like I said, I like to do this every Wednesday, and for you guys, it's been fun so far just to see what everybody else is doing with ISOs. And you know, we like to come together and figure out what might be the optimal ISOs, but you know, it's all roster dependent from what we've been noticing every time we do this sort of thing, and it creates a good idea for anybody that's kind of playing in the same position that you guys are. So it's gonna get interesting today. All right, Wave 1. And as I mentioned, my Wave 1 Avengers are not the strongest. I haven't really taken the time to work on them until just recently.
Hello.
Rello in the house. Dapper, you look fantastic as always. There is no one more dapper than Dapper. 89, right? 86? Damn it, I can never get it right.
Don't worry.
I'll get it right one day. Dapper 86. Yeah, nobody looks more dapper than our boy Dapper. And like I said, I haven't really been working on them too much. So actually, this is going to be one where I'm going to actually be listening quite a bit into what you guys have been doing with your Wave 1 Avengers. So is there a particular character that you guys want to work on? Let's all come together in this glorious occasion, said DEFCON 3.
Bro, I'm laughing because I don't have actual good mods. I mean, good ISOs on my Wave 1. I just put random stuff just to put mods on them. I mean,
well, we'll definitely look even like at Ramon's ISO chart at one point. I did already put some ISOs that you guys can see on this team. Preliminary ISOs on just a few testing that I did actually prior to the stream. It doesn't mean that I'll keep them there, but once again, I just wanted to make sure that I went ahead and I started on them. So we can start, I guess. Let's leave Captain America for last because he's, you know, the leader of the Avenger team. Let's start, I guess, with Iron Man, since technically he might be one that you're not putting in this team. And he's gonna be like technically a substitute addition to the team, unless you are using your power armor team in War Offense or in other aspects of the game, with Ultron or like Zemo or whatnot. Then you're still using technically Iron Man with power armor or War. But if you're not, then Wave 1 Avengers is a good place to put him in. So what is everybody doing with ISOs for Iron Man?
Oh, we're starting with Iron Man.
Start with you, Agent Scrappy.
On my Iron Man, I'm using him more in PA, so I haven't actually looked at the kit for Wave 1. But well, I don't know. I'll probably go Striker.
You probably go Striker with him with Wave 1. His turn order, doesn't he go... Is he the third fastest in this team, technically?
in what team? The Wave 1 or
In Wave 1.
Oh, I don't know.
He's at 101. I know Black Widow goes first. I think Hawkeye is at 131, so I think Hawkeye goes right after. 140, yep. So I think technically if it's the 5th, he should go before Hulk, right? Yeah, Hulk is only 87. And so yeah, he's 3rd. And then 114 on Captain America. So actually he goes after Captain America. He's 4th with this team. So you have him as a striker. Any particular reason for him as a striker?
Just solely because I've got the rest of them done as Raiders. So, well, bar Hulk.
Yeah.
Just so he's going to get that extra hit because his crit chance is low. That was my only rationale behind it, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. No, and it's a good rationale. I don't know why I have him as a Raider. Must be for power armor. I don't think I changed anything for him, to be honest, before doing this. Striker makes sense. He's not the fastest character. Maybe we can consider him for other ISOs as well. But before, I guess I put my 2 cents into it. What are you doing on him, Mendox?
So I'm running Raider.
Raider on him?
He doesn't sit on the Wave 1 Avengers for me. He's in Power Armor.
He's power armor too. Yeah.
Which is kind of upsetting, isn't it? You want him on you think he'd be in Wave 1. Anyway, yeah, I've got him on Radar, and that sort of fits in with that team. I don't know about Striker on him. I think I have Black Widow as my striker. Yeah, she's my striker in that team. Yeah, because she clears all the positive effects, right? So, yeah, so I've got him on Raider, and I think that works well. He has a lot of AoEs, so he can do. It's kind of like the same thing with Spider-Man. The increased symbiote Spider-Man, the increased damage that he gets from Raider, the AoEs that he has. Yeah, that's why I've got him on his Raider.
Yeah, and his passive is he gains 10% extra crit chance, apply plus 10% extra crit chance to all tech allies. And then in addition to that, apply 10% extra crit chance to all allies, gain plus 5 damage for each, in this case, Wave 1 Avenger ally. So he's also going to be gaining some damage, but we know that that's kind of like, well, the opportunities with Iron Man is that he doesn't pack a punch as much as the rest of the team, right? And he's usually one of the reasons why you end up excluding him from power armor himself. I haven't tested him with Wave 1 Avengers. I don't know necessarily if I want to change him from Raider. I think I want to still try him as a Raider, especially because it's special. In this case, I think you hold off on using this with Power Armor, but maybe not initially when you're using him with Wave 1. Because when you do this with Captain America, the first turn, you're going to have to increase damage if you have Captain America as your ally on this one. So you might want him as a Raider. We might have to switch back and forth on him. Dapper, what are you doing on him?
All right, so he's part of one of my itty mini crew, so I'll pick Striker for him.
You pick Striker for him too?
Yeah.
For your itty mini? You went itty mini on him? What was the other options when you were going itty mini for him?
I don't know. I think I just seen his all.
God, I love you.
I was like, you know what? There he is.
All right, so we have a couple of strikers and actually a couple of raiders. Like I said, I kept them Raider for power armor because of the crit chance, but also I might like him as a Raider with this team just because even though I technically don't use his special on him first turn because I want to wait for the offense up from rescue and power armor. With this team in particular, with the increased damage from Captain America, I might want to do this first turn with him. So we can land some vulnerables in place. The Raider might be where it's at with him. All right.
I just put him to this Raider right now.
And just like that, Dapper says, "Hey, I like that. Let's change that to Raider then."
No, but weapon just set it right. And the thing is, I did it.
Dapper covered his eyes and picked something. Said weapon. Yeah, it sounds about right. Weapon. All right, let's start this off with Black Widow. Black Widow. We thought that she was gonna get her own Red Room team. That's not the case. It seems like we're gonna have her in Wave 1, at least for now. We don't know if this is something that might come down the line, but with military team being the team that's coming in, she's definitely gonna be here then for some time, and it makes sense. She does have that synergy with Hawkeye as well. And I want to start with Dapper because he's already laughing. I want to know what Dapper's doing with Black Widow. What you got going on with her?
I have her striker.
You have her as a striker? So actually, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Attack primary target for 190% damage during stealth, copy, and clear all positive effects on primary target. So that's always a good sign of a basic that might be considered for a good striker option. I did skirmisher on her before we move on to what Mendogs and Scrappy are doing. I did use skirmisher because it seems like every time, you know, HAWKEYE calls for an assist, she goes first, lands that vulnerable, and then he gets to attack again. So it's like a 3-strike attack whenever that happens. But I think we might consider her for striker too down the line, especially if you guys are all doing striker on her. So Scrappy, what are you doing?
I went a little bit abstract, to be honest, and I went with healer.
You went with what? Sorry, Chris, thank you so much for the follow, Chris. What did you do with her? Healer with Black Widow. Okay, cool. And what's the reason behind putting her as a healer? Just because she goes so fast?
Yeah, just if it's healing on every single turn that she takes, then I thought the quickest person would be best. Because out of her stats, she doesn't trump. Well, she trumps mostly on her speed.
Yeah. And that's the one thing this team is lacking too. They don't have a healer per se, unless you know, at the 5th, you bring in someone like Mantis or something like that. You probably don't get a lot of healing with this.
No, you don't get a lot of healing out of her, to be honest. But where she's so quick, my rationale at the point in time, it's been a while since I've looked at this team.
It's okay, Chris. He's like badass effects. Yeah, it's okay, Chris. No, actually, that makes sense. I think someone said it earlier, actually, before we started running this team, that healer on all this team is actually a big pain to get through just because they continue to heal and heal. And a character like Hulk, you guys know, will definitely benefit. Whenever we get to Hulk, it might be a good option for him as a healer. So we'll definitely consider that. And she is a fast character. What are you doing with your Black Widow, Mendogs?
So I've got her as a striker.
Got her as a striker too?
Yeah. I'm interested to see how this team actually looks. I know we're doing the review, and I'm actually upgrading this team for Doom, Doom campaign.
Yeah.
But if you look at the new Yelena and Red Guardian, they have a lot of synergy with Black Widow and stuff like that. So I'm presuming her and Hawkeye and maybe Captain America might be pulled off for that military team. We'll have to do some testing. But I have her as striker. She's very effective as striker. I can see the argument for healing, and in some cases, that's actually not a bad way to keep that team alive. But I just think the striker she does a lot of calls and stuff. So yeah. Yep.
So striker, we have healer, and I think Dapper also said striker on her, even though he went eeny, meeny, miny, mo on her. He also went striker with her. I do like striker, like I said, on her, especially because she does clear positive effects on the primary target. That's always a good thing to do whenever you're getting that assist. And she does, like I said, have that synergy with HAWKEYE. When we'll get to HAWKEYE, we'll talk about how important Black Widow is in this team. I've already seen that in the chat that some people are mentioning Yelena's basic has Black Widow on it, and it does. We'll definitely, it'll be interesting when we get to talk about the military team. Are some of these characters staying here, or what's going to happen with Wave 1? But as of now, we're just talking about this particular team right now and the ISOs within them. How we're going to use them.
And just a big disclaimer, I don't use Wave 1 at all.
Yeah.
I don't use them.
I'm not surprised
in
that.
War. I don't use them in Arena. I definitely don't use them in Rage. I might use them in Blitz, but never use them.
So how big of a team is your Wave 1 Avengers, or did you just never really work on them? And this is just, I'm asking because he's a Kraken in the team here.
They're baby. Let me
they're
see
baby?
where they're, yeah, I'll tell you right now exactly where they're at.
Yes.
Scrolling down, they're 337k.
337k. Well, they're still definitely stronger than me, but yeah, probably not crazy big enough for especially the wars that you're facing for war defense to be placing them. But like I said, they're a team that definitely surprises people, or at least whenever I'm pretty nosy. I like to see where the war defense are going. And this is one of the teams that racks off defensive wins pretty often from even from my own alliance. It's always interesting to see that this is happening. I think they get underestimated.
So you guys can't.
Defensive wins.
That again, Scrappy?
I had 6 defensive wins with my wave 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They rack up the wins.
And 1 more.
Yeah, they definitely rack up the wins in defense, and even I've seen the baby wave 1 also doing. Like I said, I don't know if it's that they get underestimated or it's just they're really that good in war defense. I know that there's a lot of blocking coming in from Captain America, and maybe with all healers on them, like someone mentioned a while back, it might be a good possibility for them to continue to survive and get more defensive wins as a whole. It also depends on who you're putting as the 5th here, because there's technically, Thor and Iron Man, like I said, have their own homes as well. So, a lot of times you may end up seeing a different 5th that might make the difference. That's the other thing. Wave 1, those may be the main 4, but a lot of people will attack them thinking that, with a different character in mindset, and a lot of people will switch it up with the 5th character at the end.
So for those of you who have seen the Marvel, the MSF show that we run, you'll know that I like a specific segment called Rumor Has It.
Rumor
has it. So you can't see, but I'm wearing my tinfoil hat when I so rumor has it for next year we're getting a full Hulk team.
Ooh, yes.
We're also getting a new Iron Man. Yeah. So I'm expecting this team to be pulled apart. Hulk will go on his Hulk team. We've got the new military team, which will probably take HAWKEYE, the 2 new characters, Black Widow and Captain America.
Yeah.
I believe we're getting a 6, because we've already got 5. 6 Avengers as Guardians to bring them in. Maybe the King, just everyone put their tinfoil hat on. But yeah, we could see some pretty interesting stuff with this character. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying my Wave 1 Avengers.
Yeah, I agree. I just started seeing, like I said, the kind of the need for them. I need more. I've been working on my war offense teams, but then with that, I'm putting some of my war defense teams out to use in war offense. So I wouldn't mind putting these guys in war defense and see how they start performing. So I'm glad that I got to work on them a little bit. All right, so that's Black Widow. We all decided different things for her. I saw Stryker. Like I said, I have her initially as a skirmisher. She is a pretty fast character, but her basic screams Stryker on it. The only reason why this skirmisher is whenever HAWKEYE attacks, calls for the assist, vulnerable lands, and then HAWKEYE will end up getting that extra attack in. So it's a mechanic that I want to show. That's why I'm not changing the skirmisher from her, but I definitely will try her as a striker as well in this team, because I think it makes sense. All right, and we're moving on to Thor. Like I said, Big Daddy Thor, the God of Thunder himself, he also has a home with the Asgardians, but within Wave 1 Avengers, what is everybody doing with the ISOs for him?
I have no idea. He's still on my Asgard team.
You don't have him in your Asgard team, you said?
No, I've got him in my Asgard team.
Oh, you got him. You don't know what to use him for in here?
Nah, not at the moment.
I have him as a healer, but like I said, I think when I was using him as a healer was just because in this particular team they don't have any sort of resolve to heal one another. So I wanted someone to heal. He's once again not necessarily the fastest character in here. He goes 90, so he just goes right before Hulk. So healer usually is not a great thing to have on someone that's a little bit slow, but he's there for the passive more than anything, right? If you're gonna add Thor to this team, you want him there because of his passive and being able to drop that hammer down once those charges are fully filled. So if I can get a heal out of him too at the same time, then fantastic. What are you doing with your Thor in Wave 1, Mendox?
He's currently set up as a striker.
Okay.
Which goes against everything I always say, where you need to have something really big out of it. But he does massive damage, and so doing those double hits is good. Plus, he's obviously
he hits hard with basic.
It does get pretty hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm using him as a striker. I think he's pretty good. But that doesn't change if I'm using him in Wave 1, which I'm using in the campaign. He's Wave 1. or if he's in the Asgardian team, he's still a striker on both fronts.
Yeah, Weapon said he's using him as a striker as well in this team. Which, like I said, he does pack a punch. He's not the fastest character, so striker looks really good on him too. What are you doing with him, Dapper? You said?
I haven't said nothing yet. So I have him as a scrimmage.
You have him as a skirmisher?
Yes, sir.
And why do you use him as a skirmisher in this team? You said, right?
Because
Actually,
I don't use my Asgardians that much. I just got them on defense, so I needed something to put on them. And I felt scrimmage was more beneficial because with his passive.
Yeah, because of his passive.
Yeah.
All right. So once again, his passive, what it does, you gain that extra damage. You gain that extra damage for each Asgardian or Wave 1 ally. Then on turn, you heal for 5% of max health, plus 5% of max health per non-minion Asgardian or Wave 1 Avengers. So he ends up healing too on turn. And then when an enemy attacks a Wave 1 ally, which is what I was mentioning, if you fill the speed bar by 5%. Once you gain a maximum of 5, that's when he releases that 240% damage attack. So, perfect.
So he's not as slow as people think either.
Yeah,
Unless
because
you
he fills that. Because he fills the speed bar. Yeah.
And he's very effective in both. I think he works very well in a Wave 1 Avenger team because he essentially doesn't get attacked hardly ever, especially between Captain and Thor. Just constantly bouncing between having the taunt. So he racks up that. Is it his ultimate that he does?
His passive. Charge? Yeah, his passive will drop the hammer once he reaches the 5
passive,
charges.
Yeah. So. Oh, he's passive. Sorry, his ultimate does the stun. Yeah, which is a pretty cool move as well.
Yeah.
Hey,
I feel like my stun really never goes off, but then when it's the AI, like 4 of my team will get stunned every single time.
Yeah, every time.
It's always like that. Why is it? I don't know. But hey, he hits hard though. And like I said, I enjoy his passive. In fact, he's a character that I used a lot in the Doom campaign whenever I was needing Avengers. He does wonders for that team. And like you said, Captain America and Hulk will take the brunt of the damage while Thor just ends up putting the damage himself. So yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna try him as a striker because a couple of you, and then in the chat they also mentioned that they're using him as a striker. We can try and see. I do think that that with his powerful basic, because he hits hard, like I said, 300% damage is nothing to laugh at, and then 340 if you put a T4 in it. But it's not a bad option for him as a striker, especially with the turn order in this team. I think a couple of vulnerables will be landed prior to that, so you can take advantage and get some double taps. All right, the big green machine that is Hulk.
Oh yeah,
guys, I love me some Hulk. They've not done him too much. How do I say this?
at least they got the green part right.
At least
No love.
But the poor guy, he just looks like a really small version of the Hulk, especially when you put him next to the characters and they're towering him. It's kind of sad to see. He is the big green mean machine. Like, what is going on? Let's make him like almost stand out of the page at this point. But hey, I still love myself some Hulk, and like you mentioned, Man Dogs, I was actually very excited because I think you were it was the MSF roundtable that I was a part of that we were talking about the Gamma team, and after that I have not been able to think about it and just say like, well, who else is coming to the game? So I really do hope he gets his team. She-Hulk is already in the game. She could definitely be a part of it. And then we have a lot of characters like Red Hulk down the line that would be awesome to have in this repertoire. But we're talking about Wave 1 Avengers.
Abomination would be cool too.
Yes.
But yeah, we are talking about Wave 1.
But we are talking Wave 1. I'm gonna try not get sidetracked about the Gamma team. And we have the Hulk. What are you doing with your Hulk in Wave 1?
Healer.
You have him as a healer?
Healer, yeah. Mostly just to keep him alive. As we were talking about before, especially when you got Captain America on the team, they're just bouncing between each other for the taunts. And you just want to keep him alive to
for honor.
For honor.
For honor. Well, we still continue to talk about him. Okay, so we have healer on the Hulk, and I think initially I had him as a healer too, but I wanted to try, like I said today, I wanted to try different things with this team and see kind of how they worked. So I think healer, they need survivability, and healer has been a topic of ISO discussion so far with this team quite a bit. We've heard it from the chat as well. We've heard it from you guys, so it's interesting and it makes sense. I think they do need the healing. That's why
Weapon X brought up a good point too, which I was actually about to mention, is and if he drops down and then heals up, he's constantly
passive.
proccing his passive.
Yeah.
So he's gaining all that turn meter and stuff like that. So
rigged. It's so rigged.
There's definitely some advantages with that, with that ability sort of thing. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, that's one thing with him that you want, which is why that back in the day that Mantis Hulk combination was always so lethal with those two, because he just kept saying, "Oh, you're to the red. Don't worry. Let me get you back to the green," and he just procs his passive, like you said. So yeah, you love that. All right, so we have healer on him from Mendogs. Dapper, what you got on him?
I got healer on him as well.
Woohoo! What is your reason behind healer?
Because of
the passive too.
The passive, and whenever he taunts, he gets himself healed.
Yeah.
So I figured, he is a pain if he's leveled up right. Even though I'm not going to level him up right, unless if he has his actual.
Unless he gets his gamma team.
Because we want Manstro and the rest of them in there. But healer, I think it's the most beneficial for him.
Yeah. Well, I think all of you guys have said healer so far. Scrappy, I think I haven't asked you, what are you doing with your Hulk nowadays?
Same as mate, healer.
Healer on him too. Yeah.
250% resistance when he drops below 50%. Full speed buff by 25% when salting. He gets an extra 5% speed buff.
Yeah, so
and he's got the biggest health pool.
So for you guys in the chat, what everybody has been saying about him and the reason why they want him as a healer, on 50%, dropping below 50 health, you also fill the speed bar by 75%. And then you also gain that offense up. You clear stun from self if you have stun on him. Then on dropping again below 25% health, you gain death proof and clear all negative effects from himself. So anytime you hit those two thresholds, something magical happens with Hulk. You just pretty much it's almost like getting immunity at that point, because you do away with the debuffs and whatnot. And then if he ends up healing again, you get to proc his passive again. So it's a wonderful thing to see him continue to just survive. Like I said, a possible good fifth option in this team is Mantis for that same reason right there, because you want your Hulk to continue to do damage and stay alive. And he's one of the best characters that's plug and play right now, that's not really being used anywhere in the game, that you can add to this team. Okay. Cool. All right, lots of healers. I changed into healer myself so that we can try him out as a healer. It all makes sense. But we're moving on to the guy with the bow and arrow. Or is there something that we wanted to talk about Hulk? I think someone said something else and I cut him off.
No, I heard my alarm clock going off.
Oh, okay. All right, well, Hawkeye. We have the guy with the bow and arrow. He doesn't miss. Deadeye, concussion arrow, airbus, shot in the dark. Hawkeye definitely got better with the ISOs and with the rework to Wave 1 and that synergy with Black Widow. What are you guys doing with your Hawkeye?
For Hawkeye, I definitely got nothing on him just yet. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, that's my alter count. Never mind. That's So on my Hawkeye, he definitely is a striker.
You got him as a striker on this one?
Yes.
Okay. And why do you want him as a striker?
Eeny meeny.
You gotta love the Dapper explanation, guys. If you guys haven't checked out Dapper in the mornings, he's definitely a blast to go watch. Check him out. Sometimes it's a little too early for me with the little one, but I always try to catch him whenever I get a chance. How about you, Mendox? What are you doing with your Hawkeye?
I'm going skirmisher.
Skirmisher on Hawkeye?
Yeah, for the assists. spreading of the vulnerabilities. He has a couple of AoEs and stuff like that. So, and he's relatively quick too. So, I think that's it's pretty good on him. It works really well with him. So, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and Weapon X said, I have Hawkeye as a skirmisher. His attack adds vulnerable, and with Black Widow's assist, she clears the buffs with her basics deal combo, which is what I think you said earlier on when we were looking at Black Widow too. And definitely makes sense with him in that aspect. I think I said that I have him as a striker because you get that triple tap with him whenever you make her the skirmisher instead. But I do think that there's definitely more value in clearing those buffs from the enemy with Black Widow as a striker. So we'll try them in both ways. You guys can judge them a little bit better and tell me what you guys think. But if we made her a striker, and I believe we did, no, we still kept hers. All right, so we'll try her as a skirmisher first, and then we'll try Hawkeye as the striker. But I do think that there's definitely more value in him being the skirmisher nowadays. The ways that you guys.
I just want to highlight Weapon X's message. Mendogs knows what's up.
Mendogs definitely knows what's up. If you guys have not checked out, Dapper is wrong, said Sun Raven. Dapper, you're in for it with Sen. He said you're wrong. Sen Raven. I'm waiting. But yeah, so we're definitely going to try them both ways with him as a skirmisher and as a striker. But I definitely think that so far it sounds like he should be the better skirmisher in this end. All right, and Scrappy, what are you doing with your Hawkeye?
I name is Raider.
Just get him as a Raider?
A little mix up. Yeah, just to throw a little
just to mix it up. He's like, just for the mix up. You gotta love it. Yeah. Just for the mix up. Trying him as a Raider. He does hit multiple targets.
Yeah, he hit multiple targets. He's got a half decent crit chance. If your ISO's up, he's got a little bit better crit chance. With an AoE as well. If you can do the blind and add vulnerable, and if he keeps getting a vulnerable one there, then you're going to get your 10% buff as well.
Plus, if you have him, that might be a good option too, to put him as a Raider if you have him with, if you're running wave 1 with Iron Man as well, because he's going to gain that extra crit chance from Iron Man as well. So it's something definitely to consider as well. Cool. All right, so say it again, Mendox.
So I was just going to say, I think this just proves of how robust the ISO system is where, and this series that you've been doing for the last couple of weeks just proves it, where like there's some good arguments on both, not both, but like multiple different aspects for different characters. I think there's a couple of characters that are pigeonholed into a certain
for sure, they're into one ISO class. Yeah, agree.
And if they, if Black Bolt striker and someone says something different, maybe you don't take their advice. But I think overall, that was like eating mini money mo.
Yeah. No, he's playing rock, paper, and scissors on his end. He's just
I'm not a fortifier of Black Bolt. But I think. But I think
that is playing a different game than we are. In his case, he's such a big Kraken that it doesn't matter. He just puts ISOs for the sake of putting them.
He has all 5. He has all 5, mate.
Okay, I'm back.
There he is. No, don't worry. We weren't talking crap about you or anything.
Oh, I bet you are, because I used to see Weapon saying Dapper was still wrong.
Was still wrong.
Yeah, Sen Raven came in here and said something.
Oh, okay.
But I think, I think it just proves how good of a robust system is, that there's a lot of characters there that, especially how you've set up the rest of the team, it's just so flexible, which is really good.
Yeah, no, for sure. Especially with teams like this where it's not a set 5 team member. Like I said, adding that extra team member Iron Man and getting that extra crit chance, even more, proves the value of making Hawkeye a Raider in that case, because he will definitely get that extra crit damage from Iron Man, plus whatever you put in ISOs in him. So it's a good thing to consider when you put in this ISO.
I got a question. What am I wrong about?
I don't know. Ask Weapon.
Life in general.
Just life.
Weapon, what am I wrong about? Because I also see Sam Raven Dapper is wrong.
Everything. They just said that you're wrong about life, I think.
Oh, dang. I thought I had something going on right.
I do have a question after we finish the final person. I'm interested to see everyone's opinion on that.
Who's the final person?
Chris said everything. All right, well, so we're gonna keep it, like I said, as a striker, because I'm gonna swap those two after we try them in Blitz. Actually, now we have real-time arena. Probably not the best. Probably not the best thing to do is taking this team in real-time arena, but we can definitely. We'll try them in Blitz first, and then we'll try them in real-time arena and see how well they do when we swap out the ISOs on them. But let's see. The last one, the main man, Mr. Cap himself, America's ass, right there. What are you guys doing with Captain America and his ISOs? Who wants to go first on Captain America?
Well, I'll jump in first then. Fuck it.
Go ahead, Scrappy.
I went healer.
You went healer on him too?
Yeah. You gain additional max health you get in war, 20% max health, and this is where I mainly use them as a war.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was extra bonuses for health. You've got the extra speeds and things like that. And I thought, you know what, 3 healers on one team.
Yeah.
It's going to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah. 100%. And with him, well, actually, go ahead, man, dogs. Tell me what you are doing with your Captain America.
No, Scrappy's 100% true. So I've done, correct. Sorry, not true. Correct. I've done healer as well. Being the tank on that team, to be able to keep him and Hulk alive, so then the rest of them can start doing the damage. He's quite a good damage dealer as well, but the fact that he gains that heal and doesn't Inspire or one of them actually give health as well back to him?
Well, Inspire gives him
ability energy.
Yeah, ability energy and defense up.
But yeah, he gets those heals. He's got that huge block chance, so he's taking less damage as well. The longer you can keep him and Hulk alive, the longer Hawkeye and Black Widow have to just absolutely wreck things. So that's why I've got him as healer.
Yeah, and Chris K is saying that's what he was saying earlier. So it was Chris K that was saying this. All 5 of them for healer at 400k team, they will win in war. And it's that magical aspect of both Captain America and Hulk taunting back and forth, and then just Black Widow and Hawkeye getting unscathed and just continuing to do things on their end and getting the attacks in. And if you have Thor, like I said, rocking his passive, he will definitely do AoE damage pretty often with him too. So yeah, something definitely to keep in mind. I agree with healer. I changed him right away to healer. I think I initially had him as a healer in the past. Because like I said, this team doesn't have any healing coming from anyone, so this is where ISIS can keep them a little bit alive and continue to do what they're supposed to do for this team. Lots of high block damage with him, with every single Avenger ally, plus 25% CHA. I mean, a block chance, plus 10% block amount, and then plus 20% block chance per Avenger ally. So this guy's gonna be blocking a ton if you have him with wave 1. Cool. Dapper, what are you doing with your Captain America?
All you guys are wrong. I have him as a healer because he has blue and red.
Oh my god!
His chest.
He rolled the dice and he also got healer.
He was playing. Yeah, he's played every single game in the book right now with ISIS for this team. He played rock paper scissors. He played I don't even know. Skip to my eeny meeny. So I want to see. You know what? You need to post your Wave 1 Avengers in Discord one time for us. You, so we can see them.
Oh man! So you guys control me. So you guys control me.
No, not necessarily. Who knows? They might win. But yeah. So it seems that everybody did healer for him, for Captain America.
So my question to obviously the panel that we have here, as well as the chat, who are the 5 that you use in this team? Because I know most people will use, Thor in Avengers, will use Iron Man in Power Armor. So who's your 5th that you use in this team?
Are you ready for this one?
This one is Weapon Access team. Weapon, who are you using in your team? I mean, I know this is everybody, but what are the 5 that you're using when you run Wave 1? He's got healer on Captain America, healer on Hulk, and then skirmisher on Hawkeye, striker on Black Widow. So pretty much what we've been doing with our team, very similar. Striker on Thor, and then Raider on Iron Man. Actually, every single one of them. The only one that I want to try flip is Hawkeye and Black Widow, just to see how that works out too as well. But definitely what I think we have been using. Thor is your 5th. Okay, good. All right, so we're definitely going to try them out.
For Thor.
Or Thor. All right, so what was your question, Mendogs? You just want to see what everybody was doing, right?
Yes, everyone on the 5th. So I think 4 of them you could easily. Well, until we see this new military team, the 5th is whether it actually is Iron Man or Thor, or if it's. I'm using Shield Trooper as my 5th at the moment.
I think that's the one I'm
bro.
using too.
You took a low blow right there.
Right there.
But I have heard that if you put Coulson on that team, it's a very effective defensive team.
Coulson and Fury, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That is
so you keep Fury with your Shield team, and then you have Coulson in the Wave 1 team, and it makes them both.
Bro, I just posted. Can't you? I posted on your Discord, my Wave 1. So I understand what you're saying. So you can have 2 usable teams: Fury with the Shield and Coulson with the Wave 1 Avengers. But I don't really care about the Shield unless if you have them already built up, which my account does not. Then I don't find it very useful. Like, are you really gonna build up the rest of your Shield team to put Fury?
Well, that's the thing with Shield. They've been out for a while. There's a lot of teams that counter them, but as you just mentioned, if you do have a pretty strong Shield, you still want to probably keep them together for that same reason. And the reason that I said earlier, you pretty much still have to take out a strong Shield team, a 500 or 600k Shield team with a pretty viable offense war team. So that's one more team that you're making them use at that point. So I get the whole point behind keeping them with Shield if you have a highly developed Shield. But if you don't, then it might be a good idea as Mandox just mentioned, putting maybe Coulson in here, especially for newer players. If newer players haven't really gotten the time to work on the Shield team, then Coulson can definitely find a home as the 5th in this.
And Mandog, to answer your question, my 5th is the sexiest one with the longest hair in the game. The one and only Vision.
Yeah, I've heard Vision, and actually I've seen a couple of high Wave 1 Avengers teams with Vision as the 5th, and they also rack up the wins. I'm
interested to see how in 2021 how this team actually goes with Hulk being pulled off on his Gamma team, Black Widow and Hawkeye moving to the military team. We're not going to have many Wave 1 teams, but I have to admit, after the rework that they recently did, let's say 2 months ago, maybe not, I think as a newer player, that is an extremely good team.
Yeah.
That can actually do some real work for you. And I know because a lot of us, well, I'm probably the smallest account here, but I know a lot of users like, oh yeah, Wave 1 trash. But I think for a new player, and I've got a couple of people who are starting new players, and I'm sort of recommended them. They can do some really good work. So,
actually, I think I'm the smallest one here.
No, I'm definitely probably the smallest one.
All right. I'm going to prove my point. I'm 5'5". I bet you all taller than 5'5".
I'm 3'2".
Get out of here.
Yeah, Aussies, they have a limit. And he's Richard's limit.
Everything's 4 times the amount, so it takes me a while to get everywhere.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to try this team. I got to change this, and I got to add as a 5th.
All right, I'm about to head out.
All right, my friend. We're going to try Thor first, and then we're going to try Iron Man. Let me find Thor first. Where is he? And actually I might change the placement on this. Where's Iron Man? Let's try Iron Man first.
Probably low on your list, mate.
Yeah, he's not very. There he is. He's not very developed. Then I'm gonna leave them actually like this for now. And try them. Let's see what happens here. So we're gonna go take them up against this team. So we have, like I said, Skirmisher and Striker, which will flip on these two. I think the recommendation has been definitely to make him the skirmisher and her the striker, so that she takes advantage of his buffs.
With the order, are you better to have, like, because she goes in stealth, are you better to have her in the middle?
Literally just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, you could definitely. I think you could definitely do that, because that way they both taunt on this end, and then she just stops the counterattacks. I just did it to see the turn order, but definitely not probably the best or optimal lineup on this team. This one is not horrible either, because then that attack stops there, and then you go back and forth, let him breathe a little bit. But I know what you guys are saying. It's definitely better placement with Hulk there, and then Widow in the middle. Let's see what happens here, and in fact we'll change the lineup for the next one when we have Widow as a skirmisher instead, and then Hawkeye as a striker.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could just go to a place and just try out teams and then pick the team?
Oh, that would be who was it? I think whose stream was I that they were talking about it? But kind of like the X-Men War Room. That would be a good option in this game.
Yeah.
Because even though I love doing this for the Blitz, it takes my Blitz charges away from me. If I end up
Like
doing
a
it a couple of
sandbox,
times.
right?
Yeah. Kind of like a practice mode. It would be cool just to like test out your teams and your power levels and whatnot, and set like your opponent's team. But yeah, like a War Room would be a great option in this game. So I'm gonna actually.
So we've been doing that in balanced. It's not exactly a sandbox mode, but
yeah,
you get balanced, which means that they're gear 13, they've got all their T4s, and you can. It's just limited to what characters you have access to, but it's free, I guess.
Yeah. I think that would be probably the best way to try things out in that aspect. All right, so we're gonna do this with him as what did I have him as? I think he's a striker in this one, right? We haven't switched him yet, so we're gonna look at him as a striker. Hopefully he procs the assist from, and he didn't this time. But if he procs the assist from Black Widow, and she lands the vulnerable, and then he gets that extra attack in. And we're gonna do, we have Raider, I believe, on Iron Man, and like I said, I think with this team you do want him to do his AoE first turn. Let's see, we got 2 vulnerables, not bad. We did get 2 vulnerables in place from him. Taunt from Hulk, healer going into Hawkeye to keep him alive. Another vulnerable because I have her as a skirmisher. So in here, he still has it. So I'm gonna do AoE, but technically, yeah. And there goes the assist, and then the extra attack. So that's three attacks right there on that one. Because then, like I said, she ends up landing that vulnerable, and then he attacks again. So it's a triple tap with him, but you still don't necessarily get the same benefit from it, because he doesn't remove the buffs like she does. When you call on her in the assist, though, even if she's a skirmisher, does she remove them? Because I didn't pay attention to that. Did anybody see that?
No, to be honest, I really don't know.
Because here, well, this won't matter in this one. But AoE again. Whoop. No vulnerables for this one. But here, I'm going to slow it down so you guys can see. Hopefully it happens here again. So attack, hopefully the assist comes in. Nope. So every time I've slowed it down, the assist doesn't happen. But when I went quick enough, I didn't get to see it. Does anybody in the chat know? Yeah, I agree. If Emma isn't banned next and his AoE spreads more vulnerables. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is not gonna do anything. There's the assist. But see, here we go. Let's see if this happens now. I'm gonna slow it down. So attack. Vulnerable again. And then triple tap. Oh, even with the assist, she ends up removing it. So then at that point, does it matter is what I'm saying. Because she's still, even with the assist, even though she's skirmisher, she ends up removing the buff. You get what I'm saying? And then you technically get three attacks in instead of 2. I'm gonna switch it to when it's Black Widow, but I don't know if you guys are understanding what I'm saying. If you make him a skirmisher, you won't get 3 attacks on Hawkeye like you do when you make him a striker.
No, depends. Get where you're coming from.
And she still, with the assist, ends up removing the buffs. So I think, I mean, I haven't seen it the other way yet, but I really like it with this setup so that the triple attack happens. Because she's still, even with the assist, she ends up removing the buffs anyways. Let me change it though, real quick.
I think if you're punching down or punching across.
Oh, I forgot to do this, by the way. We'll do that after we're done with it. But let me swap. So if you're punching down, say that again, Scrappy.
If you're punching across or punching down, I reckon this way will work better. But if you're punching up, I think you're going to need more heals. I think you're going to get wiped out.
So changing them too. Alright, so I'm changing him to a skirmisher. But let's see how it works in this mechanic. Well, are we going against let's go against defenders. Let's try this. Yo, Bombay in the house. Someone shout out my boy Bombay. How you doing today, brother? I love that MSF finally has true non-time restricted, right? Yeah. All right. So we're gonna try. Like I said, we did this initially with her as the skirmisher. Now we're gonna do this with her as the striker instead, and let's see what happens when they're flipped. All right. So he's skirmisher. Vulnerable, but then see, he doesn't get that third attack. Now I want to see what happens when it's with Black Widow though. Do you guys get what I was saying about that team setup? You're missing on that extra attack from Hawkeye if you don't make him this right. And she still manages to still remove the buffs. All right, so I'm gonna try this here. He's a skirmisher. No passive. I mean, no assist was proc that time. We got healer on them. All good. Hey, you're always welcome here, Ivambe, whenever you want, man. Yeah, we're trying to figure out, what do you guys think so far? So here we go. I have her as a striker. Let's go in this direction. So far, I'm definitely missing that triple tap. And just now is the first time that I've seen the triple tap from Black Widow. If the battle goes on long enough, then that makes sense. But she still clears the buffs and he attacks again, is what I'm saying. What do you guys think? What do you like? What do you guys like better? Did you guys like it better when he was the skirmisher? I mean, when he was the striker and she was the skirmisher? Because the thing is, she also goes first. The thing is, she also goes first, so that vulnerables are in place already by the time he takes a turn as a striker. So if he attacks, then gets the assist, then he attacks again. Technically, though, with her as the striker, you do remove more buffs on the field, if there's any. Like against him, we can try it here.
I think Weapon brings up a good point. AoE attacks give more chances for vulnerabilities. Where if he's the striker, obviously he's using them. So depending on how you sort of want to go, and what's more important to you, I guess. Yeah.
I do like it like this too. Like I said, I like the fact that you get to remove them. It felt like he hit a lot more, but I kind of want, it's one of those things where do you want to remove more buffs? And I think you do. And I think that's why we might have to keep them like this, because I like her with to attack twice. It doesn't take, it takes longer to get that second like triple attack to go with her, because she goes first, right? And she doesn't get it first turn. Something that you can take advantage of after the second or third turn if it happens. But But the fact that she ends up getting to remove those buffs is kind of key. But yeah, I guess we can continue to keep it like that. We're gonna try this team with Thor now, though. And with Thor, oh, I took out Black Widow. Poor Widow. I didn't mean to take you out. I'm sorry. All right, instead of Iron Man, we're gonna put in Thor, and we wanted to actually switch the order, so let me just do that real quick. Where are you, Widow? The Widow. Give me Thor. There he is, and we'll bring in.
You should just go to the filter and click wave 1.
I know. It's easier, but you know me. I like to make things harder on myself. All right. So wave 1 against defenders again. And this time we are using Thor with this team. So let's see what happens. Anyone stream is the stream freezing up for you guys? Ibama say it's missing. Yeah, it's hit or miss. I'm freezing, but I'm running a lot of apps.
Looks fine to me.
Raider isn't a bad choice for D, but you have him as a skirmisher and Black Widow as a checker. If you have their passes, yeah. We've been saying that it's a good combo with those two. All right, so let's try this. Now we continue to have her as a striker, so she won't necessarily do anything first turn. But here we go. We're gonna land the assist there. So like I said, first turn he won't get to triple attack, but that's okay. We're gonna take advantage of her in the assist next time, hopefully with them. So here we go. We're gonna taunt. We're gonna taunt so that Thor starts passive starts going off on his own end. And in fact, I don't know if I want to taunt yet with Hulk, so we'll save that for the next one. We also had ability generated from Captain America, so we were able to do the ult there, stunning him so he doesn't taunt.
I think this is the best wave 1 team.
Oh, for sure. This is definitely
pure wave 1 team.
Yeah, this is for sure the best wave 1 team. It's like we said, it's definitely just your choice whether or not you want to keep Hulk in this team. I mean, in his Guardians, or put him in this team. All right, we're gonna do Hulk things. We're gonna Hulk smash here. Even though my Hulk is a little bit sad, he doesn't smash things that much. Boom. Oh, the Void here. You always go for him because of that. All right, so we got Striker, and the only vulnerable is unfortunately Iron Fist is gonna kick the can, so doesn't matter. Skirmisher on Hawkeye again, so we're gonna do this. So that finally next turn, Black Widow will actually take advantage of it. So that's the other thing with her, is that you end up doing her special and speeding the team up. Versus with Hawkeye, you do attack a lot more, is what I'm saying. It's one of those things where I think you almost can't do no wrong if you have them flipped. Hawkeye definitely got more action in when he's the striker. But if you want to clear buffs, here goes the assist. Then it makes sense for her to be the striker.
What about Hawkeye as Raider with his AoE?
What about Hulk as a Raider?
Yeah.
I think with Iron Man that makes sense, but I like that you guys all said healer on him for that particular reason too, for his passive more than anything. It's almost like an insurance on him that if he does end up getting a lot of damage, he will get his health back up if you have him as a healer. This team. All right, what do you guys think? You guys satisfied with the ISOs on this team? Healer isn't bad on all of them, and that's been used with Coulson as a 5th instead of Thor 2 Seti Bombay, which is also what Chris K was saying earlier, that you can definitely put healer on all of them. But yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the mechanic change quite a bit from when we used. So it depends on what you want to do, because the one thing, even though Black Widow is a really strong striker, and she removes the buffs. You special a lot with her, and technically every single time you are using your Hawkeye, he attacks, and if you T4 his passive, you will get a guaranteed assist every single time also from her, which, like I told you guys, when she assists, she also removes that buff as well. So there's something there that I think it could be considered. But overall, I don't mind them. It's one of those things where, like, I see the benefit to both of them being, you know, striker and skirmisher at their respective, you know, ways. Cool. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's Wave 1 Avengers. This is definitely the best lineup for them too, with Thor. Of course, you know, you have to make that decision of whether or not you do want to keep Thor in this team, or if you want to continue to use him with your Asgardian team. Depends on where you are in war, how strong your Asgardian team is, or if you're new to the game and you're really developing your Wave 1, and they're a stronger team than your Asgardians, you might consider that as well. Yo, Sage! 3 months, jeez! Leveling up one more time. Let's get some hype in the chat for Sage. Sage, I love you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to Ken's army. It's like you never left, my friend. So yeah, that's Wave 1 Avengers, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that ISO community discussion. I found it quite helpful for me myself, and definitely now after seeing them being put to some use, it cleared up my doubts on certain aspects of the team. But I think the ISOs that we picked for them are quite good. Quite good. So I do want to take this time to thank anybody that joined the call. I know Dapper left a little bit ago. Mendogs, Scrappy, thank you guys so much for joining the call. I hope you guys had a good time too. You're as welcome.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah,
thanks for having us, mate.
So next week, Sinister Six, is that the team you guys want to see? Or let me hear it in the chat. Is there a different team aside of Sinister Six that you guys want to see? Because I definitely can. I already have my Sinister Six somewhat developed. We can definitely look into them. And I can do what Mandog said. Like I said, I like to make things harder myself, but I'll actually do it the right way. We have a lot of Sinister to talk about if that's the case. So it might be Sin 6. All right, Sin 6 it is. So next week, come back and check us out for some more. Once again, this will also be in my YouTube. So make sure you guys go drop some love. If you missed a part of this segment, go and drop some love. Hopefully, see you guys on the next one, okay? Peace.